Welcome to the Dynasty Dads Podcast. Football, rankings, debates, dad stuff with your host, Justin Williams and Matt Renshaw.
And welcome everyone to the Week 5 edition of the Dynasty Dads Podcast. I am your host, Justin, running into the kicker, Williams, and with me as always, Matt Renshaw. Matt, how are you?
That's a good penalty. Running into the kicker. Yeah, you don't hear it very often.
Mm-hmm.
It's a silly penalty.
It is a silly one.
It's not like you're roughing the guy. You just couldn't stop like inertia. Like those are big defensive ends. You can't just stop on a dime and not run into a guy.
I didn't think I was going to hear the word inertia today.
Science.
Kind of happy I did.
Science.
As a reminder, we are on the Dynasty Dads web. We should just call it that from here on out.
The web?
Yeah, we're on Twitter at Dynasty Dads. We're on iTunes, all over that place at Dynasty Dads. We have DynastyDads.com. We're on Stitcher, anywhere that they do podcasts or talk about football. We're all over the place. If you follow anybody on Dynasty Twitter, likely we're tagged somewhere.
Yep.
So check their timeline out. Check us out. Give us a follow. Turn on those notifications.
Boom.
And if you like any part of this podcast and this mediocre fantasy advice that we're about to give you, be sure to leave us a nice review on Facebook and subscribe. Matt.
Justin.
How did your Week 5 go? Your Week 4. I'm sorry.
Week 4. This is Week 5. I went 1-1 in my money leagues.
Hey, there you go. That's not bad. That's better than 0-2.
I haven't had an 0-2 week, so I'm destined to have an 0-2 week this week now that I've said it.
Yes.
I lost one. I lost my big money league by 5 points. Frustrating. If I would have started Taylor Gabriel over Odell Beckham, I would have won.
Should have did it.
Because that totally makes sense, and everyone should do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, no, it's right. Better than going 0-2.
Thanks for asking about mine.
I assumed you were going to tell me about your 14 money leagues that were all...
I only lost 3.
Wow.
One of them was the one that we're in together that I absolutely care about, the one I run.
Wait, have we heard this 4 weeks in a row now?
Yeah, I am 0-4 in my own league.
Oh, are you going to get a win?
A kick in the teeth. Not this week. We play each other. That's not going to happen. I'm a 50-point dog.
I was going to say, this is the biggest spread I've ever seen in a fantasy league.
It's not good.
This happened last year, though. I was a big favorite, and you beat me.
Yeah, my guys come to play when they play against the Renshaws.
That's true. 50-point dogs. Man, 51-point dogs, if we're getting technical.
Do you have any family stories? Any events that happened this week?
I worked a lot this week, which kind of...
That's different.
It's been a busy week, man. You don't get to this level of podcast host and not put in your time.
That's true.
So, no, but...
I know it.
It just kind of makes the time at home that much more special. I walk through the door and my oldest runs over to me, and there have been times where I haven't seen... I mean, we've been in the house together, but they go to bed early. So it's just been... It's been a week where I haven't been around the kids a lot. It's kind of stinky when you think about it and talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it's life.
It's all about being a dynasty dad.
That's right. And working and teaching and doing all that fun stuff. So,
well, last weekend it rained all day Saturday, if you remember, and Carson had a doubleheader flag football game.
This is the back-to-back?
Yeah, this was the back-to-back. Well, they canceled the second game because it was raining too bad,
so
and
the
their fields were getting destroyed.
That game's been canceled.
So the first game, they played it all the way through because it was just rain.
Yeah.
So the wife is miserable. Grandma's miserable.
Why did they come?
The baby's miserable because we didn't expect it to rain all day.
Oh.
So they came. They're miserable. I'm okay. It's whatever.
Right. It's water.
Carson has the worst quarterback performance I may have ever seen.
No.
Yeah.
No.
3 picks.
Oh.
2 of those were pick sixes.
Oh.
I was like, what in the...
Ouch.
And those were the only touchdowns the other team had.
Ouch.
So I was like, dude.
That's bad.
The coach in a flag football YMCA second grade league benched my son.
Did they have enough guys on the team to bench people?
Benched him.
Or did they just play one down?
Put in another kid.
They played 6-on-7. Carson, you are just no. We'll play man down rather than have you play.
It was so bad. Bless his heart though. He doesn't know it.
Oh.
He just does. He hates quarterback.
Well, now he does.
No, we talked. We talked after the game, and he went up and told the kid that took over for him at quarterback. He went over and told him good game.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was so bad. And then but he hates quarterback, man. He's told me multiple times he wants to play defense. Because the coach thought he was the best player at quarterback. He's not working with a lot.
So then he Ryan Fitzpatrick his way out of the starting job?
Pretty much.
Oh.
It was just like that. It went from riding these highs to that.
Yeah.
It was really, really hard to watch.
Tackle monster magic to... Yeah.
On one end, you're like, you want to teach him like how to be quarterback and like teach him how to read the field and this and that. And the coach, does that stuff at practice with him. But it's like, at the same time, if the kid don't want to do it and he's actually pretty decent playing in other positions, like
let him do it.
Yeah, you got to let somebody else do it.
Yep.
But it is what it is. He's after that game, now he's like more focused towards basketball. Now he's ready for basketball.
Yeah, and you're not coaching this year, right?
No, I am not going to do a disservice like that again.
Man, all right.
Those kids deserve
I miss
so
those
much better.
Stories.
Oh, I'm going to go to every game.
I know.
And I'll probably, like, when I go to the football stuff, I help out a little bit, but it's mostly to keep the kids, like, in line.
Right.
When you're dealing with that many second graders, it's tough.
Knock it off.
Yeah. You want me to talk to your mom? Where's your mom? Where's your mom?
Tell your grandma.
Carly is talking a lot more. She says daddy like perfect.
Good.
And so we have it down to where she will pick things off the floor, like random things. And I'll say, hey, give it over.
Yeah.
Give it to me. And she'll walk over and say, Dada. And she'll drop it in my hand.
That's
like,
cool.
Yeah, perfect.
That's cool.
This is awesome.
We're teaching our youngest to count.
Oh, that's
like
fun.
we're playing hide and seek. And we played hide and seek yesterday or a couple days ago. And yeah, she's got 7 down like perfect, which
Seven's
is
a good one.
Such a weird number to have down. I'm like, you can say 7, but you can't say 6. So yeah.
Matt, we should probably get into the news and notes.
Yeah.
It's week 5, dude. It's week 5.
We're in. Like now you can start. There's some value based like for trading and stuff now because you can say this is what they've done. This is who the guy is. Here's his value.
And if you're 0-4 like me, it's time to trade.
Yep.
It's time to look forward to next year.
Yep.
As the Dynasty Nerds podcast, as they say, when you're winning or when you're losing in fantasy Dynasty, it's kind of nice because you're still kind of winning. You're just looking for next year.
Yeah.
So
I haven't had that problem or success. I don't know what you want to call it there.
I hate you. It's being reported that Lev Bell will return to action week 7 during Pittsburgh's bye week. Matt, what do we do?
What do you mean? What do you do?
What do you do right now?
I'm trying to trade for him everywhere I can.
Trade for him?
Yes.
I don't know if that team's going to like him week 7.
They're probably not.
If he ends up a Steeler week 7, like I don't know what you do with him. Do you really roll him out there on week 8?
As a
running
Steeler
back?
or as like a fantasy
Steelers
player?
fantasy, like as a Steelers fantasy, as a real life Steelers running back.
Yeah.
What does that
You
crowd
roll him
do?
out there. Get out of here. What
does that crowd do?
We saw what happened to Doug Baldwin.
I guess it depends on where they're at record wise.
We saw what happened. They would be 3-0 if they had Lev Bell from the start. Easy.
Hot take.
They beat the Browns. They may not beat the Chiefs, but
Chiefs, yeah, storm back.
Yeah, so they're at least 2-1. At worst, they're 2-1 with Lev Bell.
To you, what does this do for James Conner and his value?
We talked James Conner last week.
Does this put okay? Well, does this put a damper on his overall value though?
I wouldn't trade for him, but I'm on record of not liking him. So me saying,
I just find it interesting that now that we know an expiration date, I would think that would affect his trade value.
I would assume his trade value dropped. I'm in leagues where people own Conner and they put, I'm going to trade James Conner now. Of course you do, because you've got 3 weeks left.
If you don't have a trade deadline, I think week 8 is the time where I go out and get James Conner.
Yes, because you don't know. I mean, maybe he's the starter next year, and I got an offer today in one of the leagues that was James Conner and Trey Burton for Cortland Sutton, a first and 2 seconds. Yeah, it's a 24-team league, so the picks.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't take it. There's no way.
Yeah.
So.
Jacksonville is uncertain whether Leonard Fournette, Big Len, will return to action after he re-aggravated his hamstring injury. TJ Yeldon is expected to start this week against the Chiefs.
Start him.
Start Big Len.
No,
or start TJ Yeldon.
Start TJ Yeldon.
I was going to say, you might get
You're
a
not
zero.
going to start the guy that's not going to play.
I just say,
You're not a Len fan.
I'm a Len fan. I'm not a Yeldon fan.
Have you seen what Yeldon does? And have you seen...
No, I know. I get it.
Have you seen how good the Chiefs' defense makes opposing offensive players look?
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. That defense isn't very good.
I would expect Yeldon to have a nice game.
Yeah,
I would expect
too.
Corey Grant to Corey Grant always has a chance of pulling off an 80-yard touchdown.
Yes, he does. He is elusive.
Yeah. So if you're really shallow at running back or flex position, yeah, he's worth a shot.
Yeah.
Mark Ingram's suspension has been lifted.
He's back.
But with Alvin Kamara killing it on the ground and through the air, one has to question whether or not Ingram is a factor anytime soon.
Oh, stop it.
What says you?
Stop it. People like you is who I go and trade for Ingram from. Yeah, go get Ingram. Like, probably after this week, when he has a down week, you go get him and stash him.
Well, how does Ingram's, him being a part of the team now, how does that affect Kamara?
How did it affect him last year?
Well, it's a different year, Matt. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's going to be the same way.
It's going to be the same way.
Okay. So you're willing to start both of them?
Yeah.
They're both automatic starts for you?
Yeah, I wouldn't put them in the same category, though. They're both starts for me. Ingram's a 3 or a flex.
A 3?
A running back 3, or a flex? Yeah. No?
The way you're talking about him, he should be much higher than an RB3.
I don't think he's going to be an RB3 this week, but I think down the stretch, or I don't think he's going to be higher than RB3 this week, but I think down the stretch he will be.
Mark Ingram is like RB2, like one of the best RB2s you could probably have right now.
Are we talking real football or?
No, I'm talking like fantasy football, bruh.
You're going to put him at 13 to 24? Like that's your range for him?
Yeah.
Oh.
If we're looking at last year and how he did.
We are. I'm surprised you, who's not high on him, is going to put him that high.
I never said I wasn't high on him. I'm not. I don't know. I think he has a little. I think he hurts Kamara a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. There's less balls for Kamara, but yeah, I still like Ingram.
That was the question, Matt.
I said he's going to see a ding, but I trust Ingram.
Dalvin Cook was limited to just 10 carries in a loss against the Rams last Thursday. Cook himself has publicly admitted that he is not 100%. With the Vikes traveling to Philly this week, can you start Cook with any confidence?
No, but you start him. Not with confidence, but you start him.
Kind of hold one eye closed and plug him in?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's risky. It's a bad matchup even if he is healthy.
Here's what I didn't understand. He only got 10 carries, and they said he's going to be on a snap count. Why did you use all 10 of his carries in the first quarter?
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
No one did. Twitter blew up about that.
No. Duh. What are you doing?
So we're going to go a little deeper here.
Oh.
Yeah, we got a little bit to talk about.
Okay.
Will Fuller.
When you say this deep stuff, I never know if you're like legitimately talking we're going to go deep or...
Will Fuller did sit out the second half of the game last week against the Colts, but head coach Bill O'Brien did come out and say that he believes he could have played if they needed him to. Should be a go this week against the Cowboys, but Fuller has scored a touchdown each week he's played the season, but he's been dealing with these hammies since training camp.
Same hammy, but yeah.
Yeah. Where are you on Fuller?
I like Fuller if he plays.
Right.
I mean...
So his injury status doesn't really bother you week to week? Because I just don't feel like you can count on it.
You've said that. I feel like you hate Fuller. You've said trade him, he's garbage. I don't know. I feel like one of your hot takes was about Fuller.
I've come around a little bit because every time he gets on the field, dude scores.
He is explosive. Scores. They like him. They run offensive plays for him.
Yep. No, I've come around a little bit. I still don't know if I would ever invest anything higher than a second-round pick for him, which isn't enough to get him.
Nope.
But yeah.
Have you tried?
No, I haven't tried. I just don't want to acquire him.
Yeah.
In related news, though, Keke.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I can't sing Drake's song, but you can.
Keke, do you love
That's the one. There you go.
Are you riding?
When somebody gets hit by a car.
Keke is someone we need to talk about, Matt.
Okay.
Caught 11 of 15 targets for 109 yards in the Texans' Week 4 win over the Colts.
Yeah.
This was Cootie's NFL debut after he missed the first 3 weeks with a hammy. The fourth-round rookie immediately took over as the Texans' number 3 wideout and was elevated to number 2 when Will Fuller had to leave the game. Cootie's 15 targets were a team high. He appeared to be Deshaun Watson's safety blanket on third downs and in short areas.
Do you know what percent of MFL teams own Keke?
No, but I'm sure you're about to tell me.
21%.
Wow.
Fits that renegade criteria.
Cootie was a popular second to third round pick in rookie drafts this year, which is what a payoff you might be seeing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is Keke worth a flex start for you?
See, here's where it gets hard for me, and I'm going to blame it on the Renegade research that I've been doing. I have a hard time starting him because the only way that the wide receiver 3 gets any action in Houston is when Will Fuller doesn't play.
Yeah.
So, am I going to start him? No, I'm not going to start him.
But I would go out and get him, and I would go ahead and plug this away where if Fuller is hurt.
Oh, if Fuller's hurt, you fire up
Keke.
Keke. Yeah, absolutely. I have no problem with that. But it's the fact that they've said Fuller's going to play. He's okay. He could have played if we needed him. We just didn't need him.
Julian Edelman's 4-game suspension has ended.
He's back.
His return could not come at a better time for the Patriots' passing attack, which was scuffling even before Rob Gronkowski went down with an ankle injury. Edelman should immediately settle in as Tom Brady's top target. The Pats play the Colts Thursday night. Not a ton of information out there on Gronk's injury, but it looks like he should be okay and ready to go. As for Josh Gordon, he made his Pats debut this week. Caught 2 of 2 targets.
100%.
32 yards in the Patriots' Week 4 win over the Dolphins. Hashtag DadStat. Gordon got the start, but Pro Football Focus charted him as playing just 18 of 81 snaps.
Yep, we're still learning that crazy Pats playbook.
Are you willing to start Edelman this week?
Yes, absolutely.
Me too.
Wide receiver 2.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yep.
I'm actually trying to go get him, but
I've held him in a few leagues. Yes, absolutely.
Falcons rookie wideout made history this week.
Yeah,
first rookie receiver in NFL history to have 6 touchdowns in his first 4 games. Somehow he had less targets than Sanu.
I've said, Sanu is an option there.
Yeah. Calvin Ridley and the Falcons play Pittsburgh this week, and that is a soft matchup for wide receivers. Is Ridley an auto start for you yet? We talk about him every week.
Man, I know. And I'm probably going to get killed for this. I don't think he's an auto start.
Wow.
I don't think he's an auto start. Is he top 25? He's on the lower end of top 25 for me. Yeah.
That's auto start.
Auto starts top 25? Top 20?
Yeah, you got to start 2 wide receivers. At least in every league I'm in.
Okay, if that's your criteria, I don't know. I still have a hard time auto starting him, which I probably shouldn't, but there's so many mouths to feed in Atlanta. I just feel like he's had 2 hot weeks.
Ridley or Edelman?
Edelman, which is probably a hot take.
Ridley's so hot right now.
You're going to go Ridley over Edelman?
I'd have to.
Yeah. I get it. Like, I'm not going to fault anybody that says that.
Ridley or Jordy?
Ridley.
Jordy's had some big weeks back to back.
Yeah, give me Ridley.
Okay. I don't even know who the Raiders play. Yeah, they play. I don't know who they play, though.
Yeah. Ridley or Doug Baldwin?
Oh, Ridley. Easy for me.
Wow.
Yeah. I like Ridley a lot. I liked him coming in.
Ridley or Alshon Jeffrey? 2 guys coming off injuries that came back and had big weeks.
Ridley, because it took Alshon a little while to get warmed up there.
Okay. I think I start both of those guys over Ridley.
Okay. Ronald Jones made his season debut this week.
Finally.
Yeah, finally. And, of course, the entire team got smoked by the Bears. One positive note for Rojo is that he did out-carry Peyton Barber 11-8.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good for you. The guy that's highest on Rojo everywhere.
Yeah. The Bucs are on a bye this week and expecting to change up from Fitzpatrick to Winston, which I believe already came out.
Yep.
Perhaps we see more of Rojo, too. Maybe they hit the reset button and figure things out.
Yeah, maybe.
What does Winston mean for Rojo at all? Is there anything at all?
I really don't think it helps him or hurts him. They're looking to pass the ball downfield. We've seen that the first 4 weeks of the season. Rojo can't pass block.
Nope.
That's his biggest Achilles heel.
Sure.
And until he can do that, I don't think he's going to be a huge guy. I know he's on everyone's waiver. Go pick him up. That people that dropped him, but just it's going to be hard. I don't think they're going to be ahead of a lot of games. I think they're going to need to pass, and I think that hurts his availability in the game.
What does Jameis Winston do or what does his return mean for Mike Evans and Deshaun Jackson?
Nothing.
I agree with that completely.
I don't think it changes anything.
I agree. Deshaun Jackson has actually topped 100 yards in 3 of his 4 games.
Why don't we ever talk about Godwin? We always talk about Evans and Jackson.
I think Godwin is the future. I think Jackson is the now.
I think they're similar guys.
They really want Godwin to do something in this offense.
Done.
They force him the ball.
He's done well when he's gotten his balls.
Oh, I'd be happy if I had Godwin. I really would. I just think for this year, Deshaun Jackson's the guy. I would love to invest in Godwin. That's a good guy to go get.
Yeah.
because
He can't,
his value
but-
is fair right now.
Yeah.
A little bit of IDP news. Bengals linebacker Vontaze Burfict 4-game suspension has ended, and he should be starting for the Bengals and reminding us all that he is a dirtbag immediately. So that's nice.
Yep. Next.
Colts running back Robert Turbin's 4-game suspension has also ended.
Yeah.
Before you poo-poo on the Turbinator,
Turbinator.
remember the situation he's waltzing into.
Mm-hmm.
Mack is banged up and missed the past couple weeks. Wilkins hasn't rushed for over 20 yards in 2 weeks. And Hines has proven valuable, but only in the passing game.
Yeah.
Turbin might be worth an ad if you have the space.
No, he's not.
Really?
If you have the space to add Robert Turbin, you're a winless team.
Fair. Absolutely, unless it's a really deep roster.
Right.
Yep, I agree with that. I'm just
So-
saying, better to be a week early than a week late.
Yeah, the struggle for me is I feel like the Colts are one of the serious suitors for Bell, and that could just blow that whole backfield up. Go out, give
be
Lev
something.
Bell. Doesn't matter who else you have. Max value's done. Wilkins' value's done. Hines probably still has a little bit of value, but I just think if Le'Veon Bell ends up in the Colts and they have the cap space to do it, doesn't matter what Colt running back you own.
I'm just surprised that Hines is actually fantasy relevant.
After how he started on skates.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty amazing. But again, when they give him the ball to run it, it's awful.
Yeah, but he can catch.
They put him. They have the right place for him.
Mm-hmm.
Rashad Penny, we got to talk about it.
Find a penny.
Played
Leave it on the ground.
16 of 66 snaps. That's only 24%, Matt.
Whoa, math.
Week 4 against the Cardinals, and even with Chris Carson inactive,
Yep.
Penny took a backseat to Mike Davis,
Yeah.
who outsnapped him 47 snaps to 16 snaps, and outtouched him 25-9.
Right.
Yikes! If you're a Penny owner,
Yeah.
Mike Davis rushed 21 times for 101 yards and 2 touchdowns. Looks like we have a mess at running back in Seattle yet
I
again.
feel like we say that every year.
Chris Carson is expected to play again in Week 5. It's against the Rams, but still. Who do you want the rest of the way as far as Seattle running backs go? You got to pick one.
Nobody.
Just this year.
Just this year, I'm picking Penny. Here's why. Here's my rationale behind this. I don't think the Seattle Seahawks are going to win a lot of games. I think by week 10 to 12, they go, well, let's just see what the young guys got and roll with them.
But they're all young guys. They're all relatively young guys.
None of them have. Penny was a first-round pick. You got to look at draft capital. I mean, the other guys were late or undrafted free agents.
I think draft capital is something us fans talk about. I really do. I think that once you're on the field, those coaches don't give a damn.
They
They
don't
don't.
pay a guy to be in the back.
They're not paying them. The owners are.
Well, whatever.
I'm just saying. I agree with you. It's something they should look at, but they don't. Otherwise, Tyreek Hill would have never started. He was a 5th-round wide receiver.
He's explosive. He had second-round talent that he
I'm
got
just
into
saying.
legal trouble. You got to play your
I'm
talent.
just saying it goes both ways, Matt.
It does.
It goes both ways.
I get it, but Penny was drafted in the first round for a reason. He's talented.
So Penny the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Who do you want from here on out? Forever. If you had to pick one.
Forever?
Yeah.
Penny. Who's your
I think
forever?
for this year it'd be Chris Carson, and I think next year I'd want Penny.
Okay. And what about your forever? Who's your forever back?
Maybe Penny.
Okay. Such a weird forever.
Geronimo Allison has been a nice start all season for Dynasty owners.
Yes.
But he did suffer a concussion late in the 3rd, I believe, on Sunday. With Randall Cobb dealing with a hammy, Marquez Valdez-Scantling may see some real action in Detroit against the Lions. All right, is there any interest at all with Marquez?
I know he's like the highest of the 3 wide receivers that they got. I don't care. We saw Jimmy
I love
Graham
that
score a
take. I don't
touchdown.
care.
You know what I mean? They're gonna be there. They're gonna have opportunities. They're not guys that I want. Does that make sense?
Yeah, Allison has just been a great spot start.
Yeah. Jeff Janis should be still there, but he's not.
Coach Pete Carroll hinted that Brandon Marshall's playing time may be cut in favor of sophomore wide receiver David Moore.
Oh wait, you mean they're gonna play young guys?
Carroll said Moore will be mixing in more, no pun intended. Marshall has dropped 4 passes over the last 2 games and has shown very little on the stat sheet, catching a total of 3 balls for 35 yards on the last 2 weeks. He's yet to top 50 yards on the year. Is David Moore worth picking up?
If you're a team that's 0-4, that's playing for the future, sure.
Yep.
If you're a contender, leave him on the wire.
I know nothing about David Moore. I'm not going to pretend to, so I'm just going to move on.
Oh, okay. Okay.
O.J. Howard out 2 to 4 weeks with a sprained MCL.
Overrated Jones Howard.
Bucks are thankfully on a bye this week, but O.J. did start the season hot. 11 catches, 220 yards, and a score. Next 3 games for the Bucks are at Atlanta, then Cleveland, then they're at Cincy.
Yeah.
Is Cameron Brate worth a start those weeks without Howard?
Cameron Brate's worth a start with Howard. I like Cameron Brate. I think they're paying him. I know we've talked about money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like Brate.
One of the most surprising re-signings I think I've seen in the past couple of years was Cameron Brate.
Spent a first round on O.J. Howard and then re-sign a guy for multiple millions of dollars? Yeah.
But I like it. It's crazy. It's crazy like cat.
Cats are crazy?
Jonathan Stewart landed on the IR with a foot injury.
I hate cats.
And could still return. Everyone hates cats. And could still return this season.
Woohoo!
Wayne Gallman has a hold of the RB2 duties behind Barkley in New York. Is he worth an ad?
No.
I didn't think so.
No.
Somebody has to back up Barkley.
No.
It's going to be Gallman. Wayne Gallman.
Whoop-de-doo. If Barkley goes out, you don't want any of those running backs.
Is it time to call it a career? ESPN's Adam Schefter reports Tyler Eifert suffered a broken ankle Week 4 against the Falcons. Terrible luck for a player who has just rounded back into form after losing 2 seasons to back issues. He should be placed on injured reserve this week. Tyler Kroft and C.J. Uzomah will handle the majority of the tight end snaps moving forward.
So you don't ask about either of these two?
Well, I mean, I think
like
we've
Tyler
seen Tyler
Kroft
Kroft. We've seen Tyler Kroft. I don't think he's that good.
He was a top 12 tight end last year.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm rooting for Tyler Kroft. I would rather have Kroft than Uzomah. Easily. I think Kroft is a little overrated in this community. Everybody's like, okay, Chris Kroft time.
Chris Kroft?
Chris Kroft, make you jump.
I wondered if that's what you're like doing or if it was an accident.
Are you going out to get Kroft right now? Is that somebody you're interested in?
If he's on the wire, I'd pick him up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, coming from a guy who traded Tyler Eifert this offseason, I'm okay.
Yeah. I hate you. Titans linebacker Wesley Woodyard could miss some time with a shoulder injury. Coach Mike Vrabel didn't sound too concerned, but it appears Woodyard could miss at least Week 5. Jaylen Brown is the next man up for the Titans defense. The only reason I bring this up, Matt, is because Woodyard was a ridiculous fantasy scorer in IDP leagues last year. He started off a little slow. Now he's injured. Might be a good time to get Jaylen Brown.
Do you think Vrabel isn't worried because he's like, I'll suit up. I'll play linebacker. Whatever.
I'm ready.
Let's do this.
I'll call the plays.
Yep.
More IDP news.
Why are we so much IDP news?
Because we're a news and notes show now, Matt. We got to talk IDP. It's a big deal.
Fine.
NFL Network's Ian Rappaport. Ian. Earl Thomas suffered a broken...
Hold on. Get that goat out of here.
God.
Ian. Sorry, you were talking about Ian.
Earl Thomas suffered a broken leg in Sunday's Week 4 game against the Cardinals. Pete Carroll has confirmed that he will be placed on the injured reserve. Thomas gave his fans a one-finger salute on the way to the locker room.
Did he hurt his finger? Is that how he's on the injured reserve or just the ankle?
What a story.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Which is weird for me to say. I think if anybody listening was going to say, which one of these two guys is going to say good for Earl Thomas, wouldn't be me. Good for him.
The frick is that supposed to mean?
What do you think it means?
I don't know what that's supposed to
mean. You usually have a little different takes than I do. Like if one of us is off the beaten path of what other people think, it's usually you. No? You usually try to be
suppose. I do try.
Off course of everybody else. I don't understand. Dude, you came back, you didn't want to, you wanted traded, you got hurt, you're done for the year. And it's gonna hurt his value in the offseason. Like he's not going to make as much money on a contract because he's coming back from an injury.
Did you see all the Chiefs fans, that story going around about how they were so close to getting him? Yep. I'm like, oh my God, I hate you guys so much.
If they were so close to getting him, they would have got him.
Yeah, can you imagine Eric Berry and Earl Thomas? It's like, no, that wasn't the plan.
No.
Idiots.
Eric Berry's hurt. Maybe we can get Marcus Peters back and we'll be great.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
Wait. Do you remember last year when the Chiefs started out hot and everyone was like, oh, this is the year. Oh, my gosh, here we go. And then
Is Sam Shields still around?
And then they fell off because that's what the Chiefs do.
Priest Holmes, come back. Derek Johnson, where are you?
I feel like I was going Super Saiyan there for a second. My head hurts.
You shook violently. George Kittle.
Yeah, I know that name.
Yeah, he caught 6 passes for 125 yards and 1 touchdown in the 49ers Week 4 loss to the Chargers.
It kind of looked like him and Beathard had some sort of connection. Like they've been playing together for years.
You did bring that up last
weird.
week. Yeah, you brought that up reading that on Twitter.
I did.
CJ Beathard showered Kittle with a team-high 8 targets.
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
In the first 49ers game post-Garoppolo. The 49ers were without receivers Goodwin and Pettis for much of the game after they suffered leg injuries. But I have to ask, is Kittle in the tight end 1 mix going forward?
Wasn't Kittle always in the tight end 1 mix? For me, he was.
I think now it's more for sure.
Yeah, Kittle's a tight end 1. Book it.
Yeah, I agree.
Book it.
Speaking of tight ends, last story. Sad news, as the Seahawks tight end Will Disley suffered a torn patella tendon in Sunday's Week 4 win over the Cards. Disley's rookie season comes to a dramatic end, catching 8 of 14 targets for 156 yards and 2 touchdowns in just 3 games plus work of action. Nick Vannett will take over as lead tight end for the Seahawks for the remainder of the season. You excited?
Who owns Nick Vannett and Scott Fishbowl?
Do we?
We do. Yeah. So excited. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, Will Disley. I'm not celebrating your injury, but we own Nick Vannett, so that's helpful.
It is sad to see though, because Will Disley was off to a pretty
hot
solid start.
Yeah.
The next Jimmy Graham. No, he wasn't. No, I never said that.
No.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back with some Renegades, right?
Right.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. It's
love
like my
sounder.
favorite.
Get the sounder ready.
Yeah, we'll do the Renshaw's Renegades. We'll do a wager of the week. You're welcome, by the way, for those of you who are cashing those checks. And we'll close out the show after we talk a little bit of
Hot takes.
Renegades! Yeah, the Renegades! Renshaw's Renegades!
Best sounder in the business. Gosh.
I feel like we say it every week, but it cannot be said enough.
So good. Okay, Renegades. Woo! Ow.
Sorry.
That hurt. That probably blew some speakers on some phones and cars. This is hard. This hurts. Review time. Tavon Austin was a Renegade last week. I did say he would get at least 1 jet sweep. He got 1 jet sweep. One carry, 7 yards, 0.7 points. Chris Ivory was my other Renegade. 6 carries, so more than that wide receiver Tavon Austin. 15 yards and 1.5 points. So, I'm going to let you in on a little secret here, Justin. This is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
It's
you're predicting the future, and you're
tough.
also putting a handicap on yourself
That's
to
right.
find somebody that's not really a popular pick. And
Yeah.
no, I get it.
So,
I get it.
but here's what I'm doing. As I do research for this, I'm starting to create some criteria for myself. So when I look at these Renegades, I'm looking at wide receivers. This week's Renegades, 2 wide receivers. So what I'm looking at is I'm looking at percentage of snaps played and targets. Outside of the 50% ownership, those are the numbers that speak to me.
Speak to me.
Speak to me. It's the opportunities these players have, and I look at the long-term likelihood that they will repeat these numbers. Everyone's talking about Keke. We mentioned him earlier, and he was an option. He's only owned in 21% of MFL leagues, but I only think he produces if Fuller's out, which I said. So my Renegades this week are locked into the wide receiver 2 status on their team, getting their playing time and lots of targets. Let's get to it. This week's Renegades, I swear, I feel like it would be a rock band name, Taiwan Taylor Gabriel.
Nice.
Just mash it together.
I would totally not listen to that.
Taiwan Taylor Gabriel. TTG.
Wow.
No?
No.
I
I'm not feeling
can see
it here. I'm so sorry.
T-shirts, flames. All right. Let's start with Taiwan Taylor. Yeah, man. Rock band. Okay. So on Sunday, Taylor played 63% of the Titans snaps. From week 1, he's seen his snap percentage jump from 13 to 41 week 2 to 51 week 3 to 63 this Sunday. So we're seeing an improvement in his playing his snaps. The Titans think he's earned some more playing time, and I'm going to agree. On Sunday, he was the second most targeted Titans player, and it was also second in receiving yards. With Rashad Matthews kicking rocks, it's time to add Mr. Taylor.
Wow, that's something. Yeah, we didn't bring that up. Rashard Matthews, he
gone.
left.
He gone. So that's my first one. Second one, Taylor Gabriel. We've talked Gabriel on air, off air for me. I love Taylor Gabriel. And I'll be honest, I was worried about him the first few weeks. He wasn't doing much with his targets he was getting. But heading into week 4, Gabriel averaged 7 targets a game. To be more specific, 22 through the first 3 weeks. This week, TG saw 7 targets again. But he turned those 7 targets into 7 receptions, 104 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Obviously, he's not a start this week with Chicago on a bye, but he's a grab and stash as a possible flex play moving forward.
Interesting Renegade there.
You don't like it?
No, I don't mind it.
He's not. He's available in 30% of the league. So if you can get a guy now that is going to play later, I'd get it. That's how much I believe in Taylor Gabriel.
But we're not going to see any kind of like cash out this week.
No, you're not. But
Is this just your way of like getting away with being wrong?
No. If I wanted one that played, I would have went with Keke. But like I said, I don't think I think Fuller bumps him down. So.
Is Keke like your backup Renegade today then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't love him as much.
Keke, do you love me?
Not as much as Taylor Gabriel.
What a weird week.
I know.
Weird week.
I know.
All right, wager of the week time?
Let's do it.
It's the Dynasty Dad's Wager of the Week.
All right, Matt. You cashing those checks? Huh?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Texans last week was the wager of the week.
What are you, 2-1 on the year?
I am now 2-2.
2-2.
Yep. The Texans actually ended up beating the Colts, which was nice. I was having a heart attack watching that game. I have never watched a Colts game with much more like passion than I did that week.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was hard, but it happened. It happened. So, Matt, I got a good one for you.
Okay.
This week, this wager, when I look at the lines, a lot of times they all look really tough. I got to pick one out, and I have to do a lot of research and this and that. This week, this one just jumped out at me. It was just right there.
Okay.
The wager of the week is the Cincinnati Bengals by 6 at home over the Miami Dolphins.
Okay. You hate Miami.
Oh, who doesn't? Matt,
Adam Gase.
did you know the Dolphins have no sense of smell?
They don't have a nose.
It's true.
They don't have a nose.
Stop it. Don't bring stats into here.
Dad stats. Dolphins don't have noses. Do they? I'm going to look that one up.
Doesn't matter. They don't have a sense of smell. But the Miami Dolphins, however, just have no sense at all. Before I go into my rant about how the Bengals will annihilate the Dolphins, allow me to read a direct quote from the Miami head coach Adam Gase following the Patriots' beatdown of 38-7. No, I didn't see this coming, Gase said in his press conference. I didn't think that we would get out-physicaled. Gase and his team, are in absolute, la-la land. The entire world saw that coming, Adam. The entire world.
That's not true.
The entire world. Look, the Dolphins are pretenders. Ignore the 3-1 record completely. They defeated the Titans in Week 1, the one-dimensional Jets, and the rebuilding Raiders. Bill Belichick and the Patriots did what they do best last week. They exposed Miami for what they are. A weak-ass aquatic mammal.
They're
Bengals...
the second smartest animal in the world, aren't they?
Bengals are... It doesn't mean they're strong. Bengals averaging 31.5 points per game to the Dolphins' 20. Game is in Cincy. Perfect is back. Mixon looks like he's going to be back. Those are just two guys that should make an immediate impact. Not to mention, the injuries Miami suffered last week will leave some big blowholes. Slot corner Bobby McCain is out for a couple weeks, the starting center is out, and star safety Rashard Jones is banged up. Dolphins as a team have rushed for 1 touchdown all season. Bengals have held teams under 100 yards rushing in 3 of their 4 games. I don't know about you, but I can't trust the Miami receivers to make up that lackluster ground game. Bengals drown the Dolphins. Lock it in.
Dolphins officially don't have noses. And can you name any other aquatic animal that has a nose? that lives in the water.
Don't sharks like smell blood?
Okay.
You need to brush up on your.
I do. I'm like
mammals,
fish
Matt.
don't have noses.
They can't smell though. I didn't say
whales
anything.
don't have
I didn't say a
noses.
single word that wasn't like accurate.
No, yeah, you're right.
They can't smell.
Which is weird because it's called a bottlenose dolphin, but they don't have noses.
Did you know there's 40 species of dolphin?
Did you look that up?
I did. Because I'm trying to find things that are semi like interesting. Yeah, 40 species.
Huh. And is any of them a win for the Dolphins?
None of them.
None.
6 points. That's easy. And by the way, if you are going to make that bet, I would do so as soon as possible because that might climb to 7.5, 8.
Yeah.
6 is gorgeous. It opened at 5.5 and already jumped up to 6.
Well.
Yeah. So, word to the wise.
Hey, we did something this week that we hadn't done in 2.
Tell me.
We won in Scott Fish.
Woot, woot,
That's all I need to say.
woot, woot. We're not going to do the lineup thing, are we?
No, we're not.
Oh, I hate
we're
when
going
we do the
to
lineup
do
thing.
hot take.
All right. We're going to catch up on hot takes.
Hot
So,
takes.
do you want to start with me or you?
Let's start with me.
Okay.
So,
I like when we do yours.
yeah, I know.
Josh Gordon finishes better than Jarvis Landry.
Right. I still like it.
Jarvis Landry, 63.2 in ESPN standard PPR leagues. Josh Gordon, 13.9 and 2 catches,
Yep.
I guess.
Yep.
They're still there, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll see. Let's
Go
see.
buy Gordon while you still can.
Your other one was Dion Lewis, who was RB31 at the time.
Yep.
Finishes higher than Derrick Henry, RB17. If you look at it now, it's a no-brainer, but it wasn't that way before.
Yep.
Almost a 30-point difference already on the season.
I saw this coming.
Yep, you did. And I believe I was on that one with you.
You were.
Lamar Miller, currently being at the time was currently being drafted as RB33. You said he would finish as an RB2 or better, so top 24.
Top 24.
He trails RB24, which is Chris Thompson, by only 10 points in PPR leagues.
I like it.
Yep. Another one you had was Anthony Miller finishes as the rookie wide receiver 1 and as a top 30 wide receiver option.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to just stick with the rookie part of it.
Okay.
Calvin Ridley is burying him right now with 78.7.
Okay.
He is the rookie wide receiver 1.
Yep.
Antonio Callaway is in a distant second with 32. Kirk, 31. Sutton, 22. Cootie and Zach Pascal came out of nowhere this week.
Yeah.
21 each. They all lead Miller with 20.
Yeah, I'm out on that one. Miller is hurt, so
He's going to come back.
I know, but he's not going to. You can't miss weeks and finish as the wide receiver.
You
one.
need some injuries to happen. You also said, this is the worst one, Rex Burkhead finishes as New England's RB1. And, boy.
He's not do that, can he?
Yeah, he's on the IR. Currently RB3 in New England.
Yeah.
So it's going to be tough to climb.
Yeah, he's out. I'm out on that one too.
That is that's the first like locked miss of
Yeah.
all of our hot takes.
Yep.
Your last one was Joe Mixon finishes outside the top 20 running backs for the 2018 season. RB20 currently is Tevin Coleman with 51.4.
Yep.
Mixon has 35.6 and should return this week.
I like it. I still like it. You don't like it?
No, I don't. I think he still finishes top 20.
I will keep that one. I'm good on that one. Let's do yours.
Yeah, I said Allen Hurns finishes third or worse in PPR fantasy points for the Cowboys wide receivers specifically.
Yep.
Hurns is currently fourth with 15.1. Ahead of him are, surprisingly, Cole Beasley, Tavon Austin, and Deontay Thompson. Thompson has a narrow lead on Hurns with only 2.2. So that's a close one.
Yeah, he still would be third. So you said third or worse, so you're still right.
I also said that Des Bryant would score 10 touchdowns this year. Boy, that's not looking
That
good.
doesn't look possible.
He can't score touchdowns from his couch.
Well, he wants to play for Dallas. Did you see that today?
Yeah, that's BS. He's just trying to stay in the news. Laquan Treadwell outscores Will Fuller in PPR leagues. 61.3 to 30.1 Fuller right now. And if Fuller stays somewhat healthy, he should have this one in the bag because it looks like Treadwell's losing his job week to week.
Even if he doesn't stay healthy, he should have the job.
Jameis Winston finishes the season as a QB1. That looked really bad while Fitzpatrick was flying, but now he's actually going to get a start.
Yeah.
Wasn't looking good, but I'd say there's still a chance. Austin Hooper finishes the season as a top 6 tight end. Hooper's currently tight end 16 after this terrible week he had.
Yep.
He is trailing tight end 6 by only 16.3 points.
Okay.
However, O.J. Howard, Tyler Eifert, and Will Disley are all ahead of Hooper, and they obviously won't be for long.
Gonna be missing some time.
Yeah, so I think that one's still in play.
Okay.
Last one. Alex Collins vastly outplays his ADP. Top 10 RB this season.
Yeah.
He is currently RB 26.
Yeah.
Down 18 points to Kareem Hunt, who
Yeah.
is the RB 12.
Yep.
And like you and I talked about off the air, I think Alex Collins eventually loses his job.
Which is weird because I'm just now I'm like, okay, Alex Collins he gets an RB2 workload. So like I like that. I like the opportunities he's gonna get. But man, he's been benched twice.
Yeah, he's been benched twice in 4 games for fumbling. He's only fumbled twice, by the way.
Right.
Which that's a really short leash.
Yeah.
And when you start seeing that scares me. From a dynasty owner perspective,
I've tried to tell you that.
scary.
They don't believe in him.
It's just they did last year. They really did. And then for some reason, Buck Allen is like somewhat legitimate.
I like Buck Allen.
Drives me crazy. I
Yeah.
can't stand Buck Allen. He's my
Why?
blood.
Why don't you like Buck Allen?
Because he's a passing running back, receiving running back.
You hate those. I don't know why you hate those.
They're not real running backs, damn it. They're wide receivers in the back.
That's okay. They score points just like everyone else.
I know, but I don't like it. That about does it, Matt.
Yeah, I think we're good. That's a wrap.
Are you ready for upset of the century when I beat you this week in our league?
We talked off air. I don't think it would be surprising if you beat me because that's just how things happen.
Look at you reverse jinxing yourself. Look at
I'm
that.
not trying to-
Look at that. It's adorable.
Okay, I'll talk some smack. I'm going to beat the living snot out of you. Actually, I've thought about not playing 2 players to make it more fair.
I'm already demoralized enough. I don't think you need to do that.
I'm looking at schedules going, who can I play and then sit in the afternoon games and still beat you?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dirty, Matt.
I know.
I haven't even set my lineup yet. I don't even want to look at it.
Man.
I really don't.
Maybe I'll play Le'Veon Bell and Devonta Freeman. Maybe I'll put them in my starting lineup.
Yeah, I hate you. I hate you a lot. Be sure to check us out on Twitter. That's the #1 place to get a hold of us. We are at Dynasty Dads. Again, if you enjoyed any part of the show, please leave us a kind review on iTunes as well as subscribe. And yeah, that about does it. Good luck for week 5. It is make or break week, if you ask me.
Make some trades if you're 0-4.
Yeah, for sure. Make some trades, worship the devil, whatever you got to do to make something happen.
What is that?
I'm looking at every option I have, Matt. All right, we'll see you next week.
God bless.
Thanks for hanging out with us on another episode of the Dynasty Dads Podcast. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes and follow us on Twitter at Dynasty Dads. Visit us at our website, dynastydads.com, for articles, news, and notes, Dynasty Dads gear, and more.